Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the next tutorial. And in this tutorial, we'll see how to build a front end. So for that purpose, I will go to the front end side and I will say npm run dev over here. And let's just wait for a while for servers to start. Okay, so this is my front end running on 5174, and it is having some basic code. I'll just go to the app.jsx and let me just remove this unwanted, unnecessary code. Okay, so now there is nothing. So now let's do one thing. Let's go to the components, and these are the components which were already created by us. So I will do one thing. I'll just click on hitting the RFC to create the functional component, and then I will save all of these components over here, and let me just go to the register also, and let me just save this as well. Okay. So this is app.jsx over here. And let me just do one thing. I will remove this. This is not required, and I will try to import all the components. I will say import chat, and then I will import conversation. Then I will import this create conversation. I will also import login over here, and I will also import register. So now I have imported all these components, and now we will have the routing process also over here. So for that purpose, I'll do one thing. I will come up over here, and I will import browser router as router from React Router DOM with React Router DOM. Okay, so this I will import. Along with that, I have the route and navigation. Okay, so just some of the things which I have imported. React Router DOM is not installed, so I'll do one thing. I'd install it. So there are some of the packages which we have to install for the front end side. So I have first installed the React Router DOM, then I will install the Axios, then I have socket.io client. So these are two more packages which I am installing over here, which we will be making use of. This much is fine, I guess. So let me again go to the app.jsx over here. And so now when it comes to the app.jsx, first I will have the token over here, and I will have the set token function to set the token. And when it comes to this token value, we basically store the token in the local storage. So I'll say local storage dot get item, and I'll get the token from the local storage if it is there. And if the local storage if the token is not there in the local storage, then I will keep it blank. That's fine. uh, okay, so this much is there. So now what I'll do, I will use the router over here, and then I'm having routes router, then I'm having the routes, and then I will have the route inside of that. So for that purpose, what I will do, I'll check if the token is not there, and if the token is not there, then I will make use of this route over here. Okay, so closing tag is not required. I will use it over here only. So I will give the path as register over here, and for this I will use the element as a register. Okay, I think this is fine. Then I am having one more route over here, which is login, and for that purpose, I will give this particular path. Oh, it is still highlighting red. It should have went. Okay, let me check whether I've done any mistake. Okay, yeah, I have to put it like this because these are two components. This is just like the div. Okay, so you can give the div also over here like this if you want, but we can represent routes in this format as well. Okay, so that should work fine. Okay, and next route, so what we have is this asterisk. So I am putting asterisk over here, and then I will do one thing. I will make use of the navigate over here. So I am making use of navigate component. So I will say navigate to, and I will give the path of login over here. Okay, so it should work fine like this. Okay, so over here, asterisk is basically this means that this route will catch all the paths that do not match any other route defined above. Okay, so if I'm sending some route that doesn't matches the register or login, then this route will catch and it will tell the user to log in first. Then only the user will be able to proceed further. So this is what it means. So it is just basically forcing the user to log in first, and then the user can carry out the other processes. Okay, so this is what it is, and then I am having this else part. So if suppose user is not having the token, then it will go to this particular routes, and if the user is having the routes, then we have to carry out the other processes. Okay, so I'll say route, and path over here is basically, I will say, create conversation, and element over here will be create conversation element, which I will give. So this is the path for creating the conversation where user can create the conversation. Okay, so this will occur. A user will be only able to create the conversation if the user is having the token. That means user is logged in. And during the login process, we will save the token what we get from the backend into local storage. And now let's just do one thing. Let's go to this register page and we'll see how to create this register page. Okay. So first of all, let me just do one thing. I'll come over here and I will copy these things because this might be needed and I don't want to just keep on writing the code. It's a waste of time. So I will directly make use of this. So this is my style. So I'll say styles.container I will make use of over here. And when it comes to these styles, I will come down below and I will declare the styles. Okay, so this is my styles variable, and I'll be writing my style inside of the styles. So this is my container over here. So now let's just do one thing. I'll come up over here. I will make use of the h2 and I will say register. Okay, so now I'm not getting anything as of now. because there is nothing. So let me just revert this condition as of now. And let me just go to my register, and I'm not seeing anything. I will modify these conditions afterwards. Let me just refresh. Okay, so why it is not coming? Navigation. Okay, so instead of the register, it is saying okay, so now it's fine. So it was just a minor error, and it is coming at the middle because we have not removed this default style. Okay, so I have removed the default style from here, and let me just remove this default style as well. So here I am having my register.jsx. So now what I will do, first of all, I'm having the style for the container. So I'll copy this, I'll come over here, and I will make use of this container, and I will say maximum. I'll say maximum width as 40 pixels over here. Sorry, 400 pixels, and then I will give the margin over here, and I will give the margin as 0 and auto. Then I have some padding. Why my autocomplete is not working? And I have the border over here, 1 pixels solid CCC, and I am giving little border radius, and I will give the border radius of 5 pixels, and I have some box shadow. I will give some box shadow over here. Okay, so first is 0, then the 2 pixels, 5 pixels, RGBA parameter, and RGBA I will set as 0.1. Okay, so this much is fine, I guess. I want a container like this. Next is I'm having the header h2, so I will rename this. I want this header as title, so I will come down below and apply some style to the this. So I will say text align center over here, and I'll give a little bit of margin at the bottom side. Margin at the bottom side of 20 pixels. Okay, so this much is fine. This is my H2. Next, I'm having my form, and it is having the input field over here. So when it comes to this input field, it's of type text value. It will have some value which I will define afterwards, and on change. So on the on change method, it will take an event, and it will set the username. So for that purpose, I will come up here, and I will username, comma, set username I'll do, and I'll make it as a use state hook over here, and I will keep this empty. I'll copy this paste, and over here this will be for the password, and I'll say set password, use state hook, it got auto imported, and yeah, I'll make use of the set username, and event dot target dot value I will take. So when it comes to the event, it has the event dot target dot value and event dot target dot name. So I will use this. I will give the value as a username over here. Uh, this is the required parameter. Without entering this, you can't go further. And I will apply a little bit of styling to this. So I will give the name as input and copy this, paste it over here. I'll say set password and value of the password. I'll give it over here. So when it comes to this type, it's type password. Okay, so you have to make sure you're giving the type as password over here. Otherwise, password will be visible. So once this has been done, next I'm having is a button, and type of the button will be submit, and then I have some styling, and when it comes to styling of this button, I will give the name as button over here, and give the name as register. So this is it. So this is how we have this form. Now let's do one thing. Let's just go and start applying the style to this. So next I'm having is form. So I'll say display flex. Then I'm having the flex direction. I'll give the flex direction as column over here. Okay, so I'm having the flex direction. And next I'm having the input field. So when coming to the input field, I will give a little bit of margin bottom, and I will give the margin bottom of 10 pixels and padding all around of 8 pixels over here, and I want to give the border. I will give the border of 1 pixels of width. It's of solid, and color of the border will be CCC. So CCC is basically it's like a grayish white kind of. So solid or dotted or dashed value you can give kind of a border you want. And I have the border radius. I will give the border radius of 5 pixels, and I will give some font size. Okay, so when it comes to the font size, I will give the font size of the 16 pixels. I will save this, and this is how my input fields would look. So that's all about the input fields. And next I'm having the button over here. And when it comes to the button, I will give the background color. Why my autocomplete is not working? Okay, so background color I'm having, and I will give the value as 0007 BFF, and color I will give the color as 3F over here, and I will give the border over here. I will give the border as none because I don't want the border for it, and then I'm having the border radius, I will give the border radius of 5 pixels, and I will give the padding all around to this button of 10 pixels over here, and I will give the cursor as pointer because whenever anyone will be hovering on this button, I want pointer to change. Font size, I will give the font size of 16 pixels. Why it has imported the mongoose. Okay, so now our registration page is ready. Okay, so let me just do one thing. So this is the style of the form, and when anyone will be clicking on the submit button over here, I will call some function, and let me just write the style for the form display flex direction column, because I want all these items to be displayed in the form of a column over here. So this much is fine, and now let's do one thing. So I will declare one function as a handle form, and handle submit, sorry, and copy this, and I will give on this on submit and async function. So when it comes to this function, I am doing the e dot prevent default. So basically, when it comes to the e dot prevent default, so whenever you're submitting the form, a page refreshes by default. If I don't want my page to refresh, so I will give the e dot prevent default, and then I'm having the try block over here, and I'm having the catch block. So when it comes to the catch block, whatever is the error, I will just give the alert of that error message, and I will make use of the await. I will say await exeos dot post mess, and I will say http post localhost 4000, and API register over here. And when it comes to this registered API, I will send a payload over here, which is basically the username and password. Username and password it will take. And if the user is successfully registered, then user will be navigating back to the login. Okay, so I want to navigate user to the login if the user is successfully registered. And for this purpose, I have to declare what is this navigation. So I say constant navigate is equal to use navigate, and when it comes to this use navigate, I will be importing it from this React Router. Okay, so this much is fine. Our front end is running. Let me just refresh this.